You're 12 years old, humming to yourself in a Seoul shopping district when a man in a designer suit taps your shoulder. Have you ever thought about being an idol? His business card gleams. Talent scout from a major agency. Your heart explodes. This is it. The dream. Your parents sign the papers that same week. You don't Nobody does. Congratulations. You're a trainee now. Childhood is over. You're happy, but you'll regret it within a month. The agency building towers above you like a glass cathedral. Inside, fluorescent lights hum over marble floors where hundreds of kids wait. All beautiful, all desperate. You're herded into a practice room. Dance! They command. No music! No warm-up! Just dance! Your legs shake. A panel of executives sits behind a table, faces carved from stone, judging every breath. You walk out into the Seoul heat, legs trembling, replaying every mistake that stumble in the second 8 count. That breath you took too loudly? You check your phone obsessively for 2 weeks. Your friends text about school. You can't focus. Can't eat. Can't sleep. Every notification makes your heart stop. Then the call comes. You're in. Training starts Monday. You scream. You cry. You call everyone you know. Your mom makes your favorite dinner, samgyeopsal, extra fatty. It's the last real meal you'll have for years. Monday arrives. They hand you a contract. 73 pages of legal Korean you barely understand. Your parents skim it, dazzled by promises of fame. Nobody mentions the debt clause buried deep inside. Nobody explains. You'll owe them for everything. Vocal lessons, dance training, housing, food, even bottled water. You sign with a pen that feels heavier than it should. The ink is permanent. So is everything that comes next. The dorm alarm screams before dawn. You're wedged into a bunk bed in a room designed for 2. Now housing 6 trainees. The walls are so thin you hear the girl next door crying every night. You used to ask if she was okay. Not anymore. Everyone cries here. Breakfast is for scrambled eggs. Plain. No salt. A manager watches you eat, counting every bite. A chart on the wall tracks your weight. The target is brutally low. If you're over it, you skip meals. Last month, a girl fainted during practice. They carried her out and replaced her by afternoon. Lesson learned! Your body is never yours. It's company property. And property needs maintenance. Every morning, you weigh in. The trainer's eyes narrow at the number. Lose weight or get cut from evaluations. 4 days, you eat nothing but ice cubes. You run an extra hour every night. You stop drinking water. By the time you step on the scale again, you can barely stand. When the trainer finally nods in approval, you smile, then immediately stumble into the bathroom and dry heave. Dance practice fills your days. Mirrors on every wall reflect your flaws over and over. The choreographer screams when you miss a step. Your knees ache. Your feet bleed. But you don't stop. You can't. There's a line of new kids outside waiting to take your place. Younger and prettier. Lunch is 6 pieces of steamed chicken and a handful of lettuce. You dream about pizza? You used to love pizza. The afternoon blurs into vocal training until your throat burns. Media training, where you practice smiling through pain, and language lessons you barely grasp. You collapse in your bunk at night and scroll through social media, seeing your old friends living normal lives. Birthdays, school dances, smiling faces. They miss you. You miss them, but you're not allowed to see them. Not now. Not ever. One night your roommate whispers from the top bunk, "Don't quit." My friend tried. The company told her she owed them 300 million won for training. Your blood turns cold. You're trapped. A trainee, yes, but also an investment that cannot walk away. Every month, you're judged. Sing, dance, smile, try not to cry. You're 15 when they announce a new girl group. The top 5 trainees will debut. Your heart soars until they add that external edition winners will compete too. Translation, you're replaceable. The new trainees arrive, younger, fresher, wealthier. Some never had to starve. One is told she's not ugly, just not pretty enough. She's 14. She cries in the bathroom. You don't comfort her. You can't. She's your rival. Some nights, you pack a bag and walk to the exit. You never step outside. If you quit, you must repay everything. The penalty alone is enough to bankrupt your parents. So you unpack. Years pass. When they finally call your name, you're in the group. You did it! You're debuting! The other trainees clap with empty eyes. Some trained for 6 years. They're too old now. They'll be released soon. Sent home with nothing but debt and a missing education. You try not to think about them. Debut training is brutal. Music, choreography, schedules, press interviews. You collapse from dehydration once. They hook you to an IV and send you back on stage. On debut day, you smile until your face aches. The lights are bright. The fans scream. Your manager pats your shoulder. Good job! Now you just have to pay off the debt. The debt? Hundreds of millions of won. Most profits from albums go straight to the agency. You're working for free until your negative balance turns positive. For some idols, that never happens. Your days turn into endless rehearsals, promotions, fan meets, recordings, CF shoots, and sleepless nights. Your hair is bleached so often it breaks off in clumps. Your ankle swells, but you dance anyway. Fans call you fat online for gaining half a kilo. Your manager tells you to skip dinner. You skip breakfast too. You read headlines about idols dying young. Suicide. Exhaustion. Stress. The articles trend for a week. Then the world forgets. You can't afford to. A sauce-in stalker grabs your wrist outside your dorm. They'll find the tiny amount and return a week later. You learn to be afraid. Always. Your group begins to fracture. A member gets caught dating and becomes a villain overnight. Another goes on hiatus for mental health and never returns. You're still performing, still smiling, but the company's interest fades. Newer groups are younger and more profitable. One underperforming album later, you're called into the office. They want to renew your contract! Just like that, it's over. You're 25! No degree. No savings. The company claims your debt is cleared, but you never saw the accounting. After 5 years as an idol, you have barely $9,000 to your name. You're working at a cafe now. Customers sometimes recognize you. Weren't you in that group? You smile and nod and hand them their latte. Late at night, you watch your old music videos. The girl on screen glowing, perfect, adored, feels like a stranger. She wasn't you. She was a product. You think about the kids auditioning now, signing contracts they don't understand. You want to warn them, but they wouldn't listen. You didn't either. You survived the glitter and the grind. But at what cost?